Alrighty, guys. We are now officially. I wanted to come in and share with you guys that we are at an older save file. Older save from I thanks WARHAWK for joining the TikTok. Thanks Loving for joining the TikTok live as well. Well, I do want you guys to know that we are in an older save. For what driving I have done since the 30th, we have made some I made a poor decision. Forgot to grab my my save files from when I shifted operating systems. For those of you, I am going to tell you I do use a different thing. I do use a different operating system now for any of it. So I'm just letting you guys know that now. Let's go to the bank. We're gonna upgrade this. Because now our account balance is $240. We're gonna add the $50. No, hold on. Actually, let me do a thing real quick. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna go to services. We're going to go and get another 100 out on this. Now there's a reason why I am doing this. Is because what I want to do is we're gonna go to truck configurator. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of things that we are gonna change. First off, we are gonna upgrade this. I actually, you know what? No. Hold on. I was thinking that we'd do that. I actually, we're thanks Todd Marshall for joining the TikTok live. No, we're gonna go to our services. We're gonna go to bank. We're just gonna repay all that back. So right now, I had to do some finagling a little bit with this, but I didn't have to do too much with Linux. With bazzite, to be honest. I just had to be able to make sure that this got set up as a Steam controller as well. But it works right out of the box, pretty much. Like if you are using it for that. I don't know about wheels. I don't know about stuff like that. So it's based to check on what you use and what you do. It's not. Now I need to go over to options. Okay. Alright, let's go look at our external market. No, it says that I can't do that one. We're gonna take the most expensive one that I can. It's telling me that I probably shouldn't, and I'm not going to. So we are doing some stuff and things. Thanks Kyle for joining the TikTok live. Thank you guys. And we've also got some other things going on as well. Within things. So at least this wasn't. At least we don't have to go and start a new company. I did not get the file to save for whatever reason. The file saves were not saving onto the web, and I forgot to back up my profile. So basically, we are gonna have to deal with this. We're gonna have to deal with EuroTruck as well. I'm pretty sure EuroTruck will actually be closer to its stuff, so we will have to be. We will have to fix some of those things. I did not back up everything though, because why should I back up everything? I pretty much backed up the stuff that I was mostly playing. I didn't even back up Final Fantasy IX because I haven't even begun to play that. I didn't. Basically, the only thing I backed up mostly was my pictures, and mostly I backed up on a lot of and I also mostly backed up on my I mostly backed up on a lot of a few things. I didn't back up much of anything because it's like there was nothing really important on that computer. I just basically backed up what was mostly important to me. Mostly. So if you are thinking about shifting over from an operating system, if you have important files, always back them up. Lesson learned for me. I thought I had backed up, and I was like, oh, I forgot to back up the profile. It's okay. Most of the games I do play anyways, I will be able to run on this, because you know there's a couple things that I did come into cross that I thought I would not be able to play on my system. With City Skylines 2, I'll tell you. Go. You don't believe everything that you see that you with the Linux up when you say you filter by Linux games that actually are supported. Remember, not all games are supported by Linux, even if they say they are. Just remember that if a game does not, go check Steam. Go check the ProtonDB. ProtonDB will be able to help you out a lot better than just relying on a thing. You can play Age of Empires 2 and Microsoft titles as long as you do not have connection to the to Microsoft, as long as you're okay not connecting to Xbox Live. Then you're good to go. On most stuff. And to be honest, the Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck have been working on Linux since day one of the game's release. So you will have no problem hopping onto bazzite and using bazzite for it. So just be aware that, make sure that if you are going to be playing Fortnite, or you are going to be playing Call of Duty, or any of those online competitive games, just remember that you will not be able to run Call of Duty. You'll not be able to run I could go forward, right? This is definitely weird. So, and I know that I forgot to back up. I really gotta make sure of that. Now, if anything if the game works already through Linux, just remember that your mods are also going to work through Steam. I'm gonna back up a little bit here. So, and I've also been thinking about just restarting on Euro Truck too. I might restart on Euro Truck and go to 1.55. But we'll see. I might just hop on 1.55 and just forgo Pro Mods right now, because to be honest, I would rather have the best thing. But going from Windows to bazzite, guys, just remember, you're not gonna. It took me. Didn't take me long to update the game. It didn't take me long to get the system updated and stuff. To be honest, I didn't even have to do much coming in. Now, there are probably going to be some nuances that I probably don't know, but it's easy to jump in and go on to Linux, bazzite. If you have SteamOS, you like a lot of the games that work on bazzite. Will most likely might work on SteamOS, but they're not going to be confirmable, fully verifiable that they absolutely 100% work. Because some games may say that they are playable. If they are playable, that means there's probably something not fully. But then there's like Age of Empires 2. Age of Empires 2 is playable, but it is not native. It is not full supportive. American Truck and Euro Truck are already supported on Linux, and they have been supported on Linux since day one. So it's not like all of these games are completely 100% fully supportive on these systems. So you just gotta be more precautious about what you do when you switch over. Use that Proton DB. Use a lot of different variety, because you can, if you're looking at installing a CD drive or looking at playing some older titles, which you can through Proton and through these. So like if I'm looking to wanting to play Command and Conquerors, guess what? I can play Command and Conquerors as long as it's set up through Command and Conquer Generals, as long as it's set up through Proton and works through Proton. So like if you have your old PC games, you might be able to run them here on this without any hitch or any problems. But the thing of it is if you're running with NVIDIA, NVIDIA does not support game mode out of the box. So you just gotta remember that NVIDIA is supported, by the way. I just not switching on my laptop from Windows 11 to bazzite or any distro, only because of one thing and one thing only. You know, I did this with my main computer, not with my sub-computer. And my sub-computer pretty much is, my main computer, my gaming computer is here. My sub-computer, my streaming computer did I make a mistake and so yeah, so we should be able to absolutely. Let's come down here though. We'll bookmark that way. No, I could have easily set this driver with the international. Could have easily set this and gave it to a driver. And we are going back by 10 levels, or whatnot. And it's because of my fault. So make sure that you guys know what you're doing. Back up your profiles. Make sure that if you do say that it's Steam profile, no, go back up your actual profiles, through it. Just back up you could back up all of your files through that, and you'll still be able to run them. Remember, Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator, like I said, were dealt day one. They were supported by Linux. They have been one of those systems one of those games that have been supported. And actually, if you go look at their website, just to show you, if you go to Euro Truck Sim, okay? If you go to Euro Truck Simulator, like literally on its website, you can click on buy. You can buy it on Steam, okay? But this game, about, I believe, yeah, I believe that it is that okay. But pretty much you can, if you go into your Steam and you go to the store page, don't always believe Steam Deck verified though, but it is verifiable through here, so. So just remember that a lot of the fonts and the things that you... Just remember that if you are in need of or in need of Office or Word or something of that, you go and get Libre Office. Like it's already built in to a lot of the operating system itself, so you won't have... So like if you're jumping and you're using it to write papers, or you're using it to browse the web, or you're using it to surf, like you're already going to get started. Like if you're here, Linux is automatically starts with Linux automatically starts with Firefox installed out of the box. For it. So I typically, like, if I use Firefox, I switched over to Florp, because I like to use Florp. And also, if you are thinking of moving over, personally, you do not have to worry so much about viruses as much as you do on Windows, but that doesn't mean that you still might get something around the bend. It's Linux is starting to become like it used to have. You know, there's 5% share of, you know, Linux is 5% right now. Linux has a 5% adoption rate compared to Windows and Mac. Windows is the most adopted. Mac is less adopted, but it's still more adopted than Linux. Both of those combined, like Linux, like those two combined, I would beat Linux in a heartbeat. But you will still get most of your games to work properly. If you want to play Halo, you can go probably play. I haven't tested Halo yet. I'm going to be testing a few of the major titles for you guys. Anyway. Like major titles, like if it's a Valve title, guys, if it's run by Valve, made by Valve, don't worry. Don't worry about it. You'll have absolutely equal amount of time to run it without any hitches. Alright. Thanks Wilkes Masad J for joining. And the part of the reason why I will tell you there's a reason why I switched. It's not like I'm still gonna use Windows. I'll still use Windows for now until I can at least get Stream Elements working on Linux. As soon as Stream Elements becomes available on Linux, you know, which is the equivalent. And if I need to edit video or I need to edit files, I already use my favorite editing software for images already built into Linux. And my favorite editing software, like Shotcut, is already built into being used with Linux. So I'm like, great, I can switch over at any point as soon as OBS Stream Elements gets over here. I could easily switch my laptop over, and you know, I would have to actually go and back that. But I don't think I'm going to switch this one over. I think if I do, I'll probably just get a brand new system, and do that. I know I said I wasn't going to do it until I got a new system, but it's like, why not start now? Why not jump into it? Go ahead first. Yeah, it was my fault for not backing up certain things, and it's one of those things where you guys got to make sure that if you do this, make sure you back up your Windows. If you have it, just do it. It's gonna be a better decision to do it. Now, this doesn't mean that if you are worried about viruses or stuff, go and download ClamTK. It might do some good just to have them. Just to have it available, just to make sure that you are still having yourself protected. Remember, most of this stuff, if you do go to Flatpak or you do go to things, you know, Linux is pretty much more secure than Windows. I didn't realize that. I thought there would be like people were having problems with viruses on this. Now, don't get me wrong. There are going to be problems where you might come into that issue, but it's gonna work right out of the box pretty much. Like, if you're coming in from Mac or Windows, with Bazzite, if you're just here to play games and you just use Steam and you're not a competitive player, you're most likely going to have most of your games are gonna work if you don't play online games. Now this does work right off the bat because this has been working since this game was created. Both of these games worked right out of the box. You could probably Linux, like if you pick a operating system, if you're gonna game, the best one is to use Bazzite or SteamOS if you have the affordability of getting that Steam Deck. SteamOS is not fully supported on desktop yet, but once it does, I feel like a lot of people are going to hop onto this train, and then we're going to see a lot more issues with it. We're going to see a lot more companies, but we'll also see a lot more companies supporting Linux. A lot more people, like if SteamOS becomes a full-fledged thing, and we see a lot more people saying, oh, okay, I can now install SteamOS anywhere I want to. We're gonna see a lot more support for it, and it's gonna be where, okay, so these games are now going to be fully supported through SteamOS, through Linux, just in general, because that's what SteamOS is running on Linux. And so we're gonna see a lot of a lot of it. Now, if anything, if you are not for sure whether or not, things, if you are going to play like, emulation and stuff, you'll be right off your alley. Emulation will be flat out, you know, you'll be able to run it, through here, through RetroArch, through that, and you'll be able to play a lot of your emulated games through Linux. So like if you are doing emulation and you want to get away from Microsoft and you just want to have that thing, you will be able to do it right here through it, because a lot of times, like if you are wanting to have a computer with dual, like you want to have, what I would recommend you guys do is if you're gonna be a computer tech person or somebody like that, what you should really do is you should really have the Windows 11. You should really make sure that you have a computer built for Windows 11, but then also have a system built for Windows XP. Not Windows XP, but have one built for Linux, and built one like that. And I think it will be one of those things where, you know, I jumped in and I said, well, guess what? My game is running just fine. I have no and so it's gonna be a thing. Now, of course, I have not gonna be installing mods from ProMods. Once ProMods gets fully updated for 1.55 on European truck, I will start. We're gonna actually go back to Euro Truck Simulator. So it's like much of the stuff that I have was mostly, it's like, okay, I just forgot to back up my save file through it, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Like, it's just fantastic to see that we have support for a lot of it. Now, there is a support for another game that I loved dear back in the day. It is absolutely built, signed, and officially running on Linux, and that is the Space Cadet Pinball. Love that thing. That's built right into bazzite, into the flat pack and stuff, so you can go and discover and find a lot of it. Now, I would tell you, make sure that you always update your system regularly. Don't just, you know, if it doesn't matter what system you're on. If you're on Mac, Windows, Linux, whatever, make sure that you always have your thing up to date and making sure that you have those things. Now, of course, getting off the topic of Linux and getting on to the topic of some stuff, I will tell you right now, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, you know, there's this thing out there where, you know, yesterday I was actually watching a thing from I was watching a thing from David Pakman, and of course, you've probably seen the speech given by Donald Trump over the weekend. Over the course of the past weekend, and this thing that came up was that basically, you know, I am pretty sure that Melania's like not really liking him right now. I'm pretty sure that if Melania could, she could get out from underneath of him, if it was necessarily the process, and if she did, basically she would blow him out of the water. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be like, no, this whole issue with this country falling apart because of that is partly for that. So, and it's not like it's something that I don't agree with. You know, I absolutely don't agree with Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form. But it doesn't mean that. Thanks, Bobby141 for joining. It doesn't mean that I don't support him in any way, shape, or form. But it's a process that that we just have to learn to get along, I guess. It's just going to be one of those things where there are a lot of people out there that I don't like. If you are out there willing to still support Donald Trump, you're willing out there to talk about it, you're coming in here and you're gonna hate on him, love on him, make him the truth, and make him the right person to be around, then of course that is your choice, and that is your choice, but you don't have the right to come in here and make yourself a full-on Trump supporter. If you are, get out of here, leave, because I'm not going to sit here and argue with you on whether Trump is a good person or a bad person. I've already told you many times that Trump is not a good person. Trump's never will be. You know, anybody who says that they're willing to help Donald Trump is no way, shape, or form a person that I will vote for. If you absolutely are out there willing to put Trump as a full support, on it, then I'm going to say that right now. But also, if you haven't been paying attention, there's some other news too. It's sad to see people get swept away by the and it's sad to see people get into it being such a bad thing, and I'm gonna say it's sad to see when natural disaster strikes. There is potential again. You know, I've been watching a lot of Japan. Love Japan. I haven't watched my guy yet. He has posted a couple of things where he's live streaming on Japan, and right now he's going up Mount Fuji I'm pretty sure it's the climbing. Basically, anybody who climbs Mount Fuji, and you want to climb Mount Fuji, you have about 40 days from tomorrow to start climbing Mount Fuji for 40 days. You know, you only have 40 days to do it, but you can if you're out there. But just be careful. There's been a lot of earthquakes going on. Very well could be active, very well could be... Yeah, I know, I'm supposed to go in the turn lane. Ugh. I'm not quite paying attention, to be honest. Luckily, I'm not gonna get into trouble in a game like this. I'm pretty sure, you know, in Europe, I have a little bit easier driving in Europe than I do in America, and I'm gonna be honest, because Europe, it's just so a lot easier to drive. And it's just so a lot nicer too, to be honest. So I can bypass the way station here. I don't understand the way stations, to be honest. But I thank Xandel for joining. Thanks Xander for joining the TikTok live. Thank you Xander. I have no idea where we're at. Where are we at on the map entirely? Oh, we're going down. We're in Wyoming now. But we'll see how far we go tonight. Okay. Claire's. There's a Dollar Tree. See how far we can go from. We'll see where we end up. So it's gonna be one of those things where, but But I am gonna tell you, we're almost done for today, guys. But once we get up there and once we get it, I will. Tonight, though, however, I will tell you this: I will not be playing on my PC for Fortnite or playing Call of Duty on my PC. It'll be mostly exclusive to PlayStation now. So because of them not supporting Linux, I think once a lot more people, like if we can get at least 25% of the market, market share, once Linux can get that far, I think those games will be more likely to be supported. we are gonna get up here and we're gonna get close enough to it. Well, I'm in cattle exchange. Okay. We went all the way around to level 6 already. Fly for the high valued target. That's gonna be it for today though. Thanks JD Bullies for joining the TikTok live. Anyway, today is live 7/7/8/2020. No, the 2020. Alright. Alright guys, if you guys would like to see more content from me, make sure you guys are followed, make sure you guys are subscribed. Remember, if you're watching it on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit that like. We will catch you guys, back here tomorrow for, more American Truck tonight. If you guys want to see some Call of Duty, we'll be playing that. So anyway, and possibly some American Truck tonight. We will see. I might go and play some Magic a little bit till 10:30, and then when Scarlet gets on, then we can play Call of Duty or whatnot. I don't know yet. We will see how things go. I might, but anyway, and I'll fix them. I'll probably fix my radio too tonight. On it. So anyway, yeah, this is pretty much me running it exclusively through it. So anyway,